Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Welcome to a new episode of True Crime Tuesday on Thursday. Was just watching the replay from 2K with the boxing match against Time and Trish. Oh Lord. We can't seem to get a boxing match on this side. Shit. Nobody wants to play. And I don't want to. I just want to be the, announcer. Like, let's get ready to rumble. That guy. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let's get this open. If you're over on Facebook, make sure you come on over. There is a link at the top of the Facebook page 2.0. All you have to do is go out on the live that you're in, scroll up, hit the link, and come on over. Then you can come into the live chat. Enter at your own risk. If you don't like something you see or somebody you see, all you have to do is block them, unless you want to tussle. And that's always fun. But this is true crime, so not a lot of tussling. The only rules about true crime, no spoilers. If you know the story, don't give it away in the comments because some people don't know. Um, Once you get over here to YouTube, you can be in the live chat. You can make sure and hit that X on the right hand side of your screen. Go out and hit that thumbs up, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But let's get into it. I'm gonna leave Facebook on while we get into our guessing game. We always got to start out true crime this way. I was watching Tibby's live from this morning. Yeah, she is. I didn't know she was on there for 7. Yes, Evelyn. I didn't know she was on there for like 7 hours. I was like, damn, girl. Can you wait? What did you say? Can you was just at the store with Jaden. Hopefully you picked up some snacks. All right, here we go. We've got match the arrestee with their crime. And this one, as you can see, has to do with tattoos. And look at number 4. He has outlaw tattooed on his forehead, honey. And I did not look at this prior, so I did not know this. He's already repping, honey. He's repping for us outlaws. And then he's got, oh, Lord, child, he's got 5150 on his face. Oh, shit. If you guys don't know, a 5150 in most areas is a psych hold. So, yeah, he's got outlaw and 5150. Actually, it probably fits, with the malarkey. It's probably how most of us feel. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 4 being the outlaw, and we've got retail theft, fentanyl possession, driving with a suspended license, aggravated rioting, and domestic battery by strangulation. Oh, damn. That's going to be a hard one, y'all. Hey. So give me some guesses what you think number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 did, and I will just put them in there as I see them. So what do we think number 1 did? And a puppy on his neck. I thought that was like a wolf or something. Hey, Maverick. You were just going to say that? Number 3 for number 1, driving with a suspended? Okay. That one. What do we think old dude with looking down did? Old dude looking down, what do we think he did? Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Vicky. Hey, everybody. 3 is retail. I was thinking that too. All right. What do we think guy with looking down or outlaw or number 5 did? Aggravated rioting is a crazy number. Oh, you think guy looking down is the fentanyl. Okay. And then who do we think number 4 or 5 is aggravated rioting? Number 4 or 5? You think the outlaw did the rioting? Oh, 2 T's thinks 1 is fentanyl. Remember that in case we got it wrong. Oh, hey, Maverick's mom. Hey. It is a hard one because it is a hard one. All right, so number 4 and 5, which one? We got number 3 for retail, Jamie. Who do we think aggravated rioting, 4 or 5? You think 2 is rioting? 4, okay, 5. Maverick said 5. All right, so then we're going to put domestic battery by strangulation for the outlaw. Jesus. We got 1 out of 5. What did we get? What did we get? Oh, we got the rioting right? Okay, we got rioting right. I was like, "Wait, wait a second. Alright, so number 1, we should have known by them eyes, honey. We should have known by them eyes that he was domestic battery by strangulation." Number 2 is retail theft. Number 3, driving with a suspended license. Number 4, fentanyl. Number 5, aggravated rioting. That one was kind of hard. I think maybe because maybe the tattoos. I don't know. That was definitely hard. All right, let's see what this one is. What the heck? This video keeps getting to like 80% uploaded or downloaded, and then it goes away, and it's driving me nuts. I've done it like 5 times. Every time I get to 80%, it just my phone cuts out. And like, I don't know why it's doing that, but it's driving me nuts. I sure hope I can get it done by the time we get this one. I think we did this one. Shut up, phone. I think we did the Superman. Or maybe this is a different one. Did we do that one? Let me see. Because I know we had one with, I want to say Superman something, but let's go to with the weapon. I like these. Let's do this one. All right. So we're going to do the weapon that they used. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the weapons. Oh, we did this one too. Damn. Ain't that a bitch? Let me go to the next page. I like the ones where you have to, I like the ones where you have to match the weapon. Or the tattoos. Those are cool. Alleged crime, weapon. Let's see. Have we done this one? Dang, that guy looks wild. On Friday the February 14th, that guy looks crazy. Let's see if we did. Yeah, we did this one too. Damn. Dang. We're getting because I jump around, so I need to start just doing it in order so I know which ones I've done. All right, let's do this one. Whoa, what is she doing? What's number 2 doing in her mugshot? All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And old dude number 4 got a pee cup sitting on his shoulder. You can't make this shit up. He's got a urine cup on his shoulder, y'all. All right, we got escape, disorderly intoxication, driving without a license, attempted red rum, and fentanyl trafficking. Ooh, this one's going to be difficult. Multiple face tattoos might be Maybe's best option over lasering off Whitney's name. She used to say that she was going to get little baby hearts. Waiting till you see a family member up there. I think this is all over the US. I don't think there's like a specific state or anything. All right, who we got? Who we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. We got escape, disorderly intoxication, driving without a license, attempted red rum, and fentanyl trafficking. What do we think? What do we think? I want to say, um, I want to say this dude maybe escape. Let me know what y'all think. Give me some. Number 2 is drinking. Oh, disorderly conduct. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing. I think she may have been getting ready to put her hair up. That's what her hands look like she's getting ready to toss her hair up in a ponytail or something. 3 looks mean, tell you that. And number 5 might be attempted red rum because she looks like she's kind of pleased with her actions. 1 is red rum. Okay, we'll do 1 red rum. Let's do 1 red rum. All right, and we got disorderly intox. Oh, you think 3 is red rum? Ooh, yeah, the pea cup. You think 1 escape? That's what I thought. 1 is escape. That's what I thought too. 5, no license. Driving without a license. All right, let's do 3 for attempted red rum, 1 for escape, and then fentanyl trafficking for him. 0. 0. We would have got it right. It was attempted red rum. Oh man, I shouldn't have switched it at the last minute. All right, so he got attempted red rum. She got driving without a license. The mean one got fentanyl trafficking. The guy with the pea cup got escape, and then she was the disorderly intoxication, which kind of explains the little smirk. Dang, I don't think we've ever got 0. Betty is the middle-aged mom. At the end, no, it was the middle girl. You got number 2, Heather. Heather number 2 was driving without a license. I shouldn't have switched it. Hey, Becky. I shouldn't have switched it. Dang. All right. Well, you got 1 and 3, right? Yes. All right. Well, if you're on Facebook, your time has ended. And I am going to say goodbye to you guys so we can get into this. But I will see you later for Malarkey. But if you're over there, there is a link on the page. So go grab it and come on over. If you can't find the link, which is not hard to find, it's just feminine and fierce with the and sign. Hey, Slick P. I think she was trying to put her hair up, but yeah, I was like, what is she doing? But yeah, I think the more I looked at the picture, it looked like she turned the side and then went like, like that's how I would put my hair up. Like my hands going like that. I wonder if people know their pics are up there. I'm sure they do. Well, most area places have like the little newspaper blotter or whatever that comes out and it's got all of the mug shots in it in your area. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just, and they don't give, and one good thing about the website, they don't give names or anything like that. They don't give names, locations, nothing. So, because there's been a couple of them that I wanted to look up, especially the ones where you have to match the weapon. I've been wanting to look up some of them because like that one we did had cat food as a weapon, a hot dog as a weapon. Rest in peace, HD. He was a good dude. But yeah, they had so I'm always curious, like, how did they use a hot dog in a crime? Like, what was done? But yeah, they don't give you any real information. I'm sure it was something like that. It may not be hard to find. I don't know how many hot dogs or cat food cans have been used in the commission of a crime, but all right, let's get into. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. Yeah, Heather Malarkey is after this. Right, that would be funny if May popped up, right? Or anybody in the stuff. Like, it'd be crazy if, like, Shine or Brandy or anybody in the Malarkey popped up. We'd be like, "What? We know that one." All right, here we go. Let's watch this. Such a sad story. May he rest in peace.
Hogan is here! Hulk Hogan's here! What Hulk Hogan created stretched far beyond a 20 by 20 foot wrestling ring.
What you gonna do? Hulkamania will live forever. And what you gonna do, brothers?
A mania still alive today, even after word of his death. Police say they were called to his home in Clearwater, Florida, just before 10 a.m.
Bravo, Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, cardiac arrest.
Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, died at the hospital.
There are no signs of foul play or suspicious activity related to this call for service at this time.
Shout out to Lyric. I can't see my phone right now, so I don't know how many got out. They won't tell me like who got them or anything on this side. Oh, Brandy got. Oh, it does tell me. Brandy got one. Missy got one. Christine got one. Angie got one. Lona got one. Lyric gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Lyric. And congratulations, Lona, and everybody who got one. I looked it up, so there's no way that I can specifically like pick people. It says that it's done from engagement and the like how long they've subscribed, how long they've been watching, things like that. So awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Lyric. Lyric actually donated one last night as well. Yeah, Missy got one. Yep, Missy got one. Congratulations, guys. Oh, they mentioned the topics that the racist stuff he said too.
Bursting on the scene in the 1980s, Hogan transformed pro wrestling, using his mammoth biceps, what he called his 24-inch pythons, to shred T-shirts and the competition, beating the Iron Sheik for his first world title and body slamming the 500-pound Andre the Giant. Hogan was unabashedly all-American, often speaking directly to kids.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
His appeal made him a cultural phenomenon.
I'm looking at the size of your arms. I don't believe this. I wish I had anything that big.
He starred in movies,
Thunderlips is here.
including Rocky III
I'm out of shape.
and Mr. Nanny. Later broke into reality TV, the VH1 series Hogan Knows Best.
Every day, it's drama. It's just ridiculous.
There were controversies. Hogan admitted to using steroids, and in 2015, audio surfaced of him using racist slurs. He apologized but was fired from WWE, returning a few years later. He also made headlines for a sex tape published by the media company Gawker. Hogan sued, winning millions and forcing Gawker into bankruptcy.
The jury agreed with me that privacy is something that we all deserve.
Hogan also stepped into the political ring, speaking at last year's Republican National Convention.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother!
President Trump is reacting to his death, writing, Hulk Hogan was MAGA all the way, strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart. From Sylvester Stallone, my heart breaks. While wrestling legend Ric Flair says, Hulkster, no one will ever compare to you.
Joe joins us now live in studio. And Joe, do we know more about how he died?
Well, as we heard there, the 911
yeah.
call indicates cardiac arrest, but police in Clearwater say they will conduct a full investigation into his death, which they say is standard in cases like this. Hogan's manager tells us that he passed away surrounded by family. Tom.
All right, Joe Fryer leading
He's
us off.
ultimate. What they say he was, what did President Trump say, that he's all the way MAGA or something? But he did pass away from massive heart attack. Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and then Jamal Warner, what is his first name? I can't think. He passed away as well, and he passed away. Warner passed away in, like, I think they said like a freak accident or something. Yes, Marisol, he is. He is. I'm glad that report, and I understand he passed away, but I'm glad that report said all of it and they didn't leave that out, because I feel like that is part of him. So I was glad to see that publication did not leave that out about what he did. And I did not realize that he went back to work with them a couple years later. What's the point of firing him if you're going to hire him back a couple years later? I didn't get that. I had no idea that happened. I knew he got fired, but I didn't know he went back. Yeah, let me get the link to join. Hang on one second. This video is, I guess I'm gonna have to just show the videos that I put together, because I put together a bunch of videos, but it's not letting me download it to my phone for some reason. It just now got to 82% again and crashed. So I don't know why it does that shit. All right, let me get you the link real quick. Here we go. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the video as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay. Now that I'm not downloading. Drowning, yeah. There you go. Dean from 90 Day Fiancé was good friends with him. Oh, wow. All right, let's get into this next video. I tried it one more time to download this again. And I have storage, so that's not, it wouldn't even start to download if I didn't have storage. So I don't know what it's doing. But it's making me mad because it literally takes like 10 minutes to get up to 80% and then it just crashes. It's like, not again. All right, let me get this video. Thank you guys all for joining me for another episode. Appreciate it. It's going to do it this time. It's going to download this time, damn it. All right. Here we go. All right, let's get into this one. This is Brian Kohlberg. I think that's how you say his last name. And this is about the 4 students in Idaho that were unalived in their home in the middle of the night. So the verdict has come out today. So let's take a listen.
All right, Mr. Kohlberger, you have an opportunity to make a statement if you wish to. I take it you are declining. I respectfully decline. Well.
He could have apologized. He could have done anything. And he said, I respectfully decline. Hey, Lady D. Like, what? You respectfully decline? You
All right,
can't
let
say
me,
sorry?
Start
You got a plea deal.
this morning
Ugh. I just can't with people.
by acknowledging and thanking those that have come here today in support of their loved ones. And I appreciate your courage and your strength. And I hope that you are able to move on as best as possible. Thank counsel for the professionalism that they've exhibited throughout this case. It has been my great honor to preside in this case and to help bring, to the extent possible, some resolution and hopefully justice to this case. During the quiet morning hours of November 13, 2022, a faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them, 4 of them. Who committed this unspeakable evil was unknown for several weeks, but due to the killer's incompetence and outstanding police work by numerous local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, the person that slithered through that sliding glass door at 1122 King Road now stands before the world and this court unmasked. This unfathomable and senseless act of evil has caused immeasurable pain and loss. No parent should ever have to bury their child. This is the greatest tragedy that can be inflicted upon a person. Parents who took their children to college in a truck filled with moving boxes had to bring them home in hearses lined with coffins. The loss this killer inflicted was not just the death of these people's children, siblings, grandchildren, as we've heard today. It has ripped a hole in their soul, destroying a special part of their very essence. Any person who is a parent himself, foremost, as such, it is their existence and purpose of being. And it has been stolen from these parents. None of us have experienced the loss these victims have in the unspeakable way that they have. And therefore, none of us can, nor should we, question the way in which they have handled their loss. Whether that be in private mourning, removed as far as possible from this media circus, or in front of a camera demanding retribution with the loudest megaphone. I've listened intently to stories and pain that have been shared today with great awe at the courage and resilience of the surviving family members of those wonderful children.
Yes, and I feel that he did not want the details of I think he knew he was getting life anyway, and he took the plea deal, 1, because he didn't want the death sentence. But 2, I think he did that because he didn't want the details of the case coming out, because him going to prison and those men, some of those men find out what he did to those women, he won't have a good time there, right? Because they said that one girl, he literally like disfigured her face. I think one girl was, or both girls. I mean, he did not just, I'll say, poke them enough to do the deed. He poked them excessively. Like it looked like a heat of passion, or like he knew these women, because most crimes of passion or with someone or revenge or whatever is like, I mean, it was overkill, 100%. So that's just my thought that, of course, again, he took the plea so he didn't have the death penalty, but I don't think he wanted all the details out to the public. That's just my opinion.
I've listened also to the surviving roommates both in person and through their friends. And I can't think of how, frankly, courageous they have been despite the hell that they have faced by uncaring people who have come up with all kinds of crazy theories about two kids simply being kids. The parents, siblings, and other family members who have spoken today are designated as victims in our legal system. But going forward, I hope that they can shed that
Me
label,
too, Susan.
as it gives too much power to the evil that condemned them to that role.
Yeah, horrific.
They are and should be known as survivors, fighters, and foremost as witnesses to the tremendous lives of value
That judge was
and unbounded
choked
promise
up.
of these four young people. But those speaking today and those who did not speak, but who carry this same burden, this same loss, now carry forward the memories of these now perpetually young,
they were in their house,
these
maybe.
forever children.
So if you guys aren't familiar with this case, he had stalked these girls. They had went out and came back. There was actually, I believe, 6 people in the house. He only took out 4 of them, but he left. You know how knives come in like a sheath, or like, like a, is that what it's called? A sheath? You know how some knives have like a thing you put them in? He actually left that on the bed. And come to find out, people had saw him like circling the neighborhood and different things like that. But he snuck in their house, went room to room, did what he did, took 4 of them out. Then one of the roommates said she had got up because she heard some whimpering or something, and she heard him whisper to somebody, "I'm going to help you." And like, that is was such a mind fuck, because you know something's wrong, and then you hear somebody say, "I'm going to help you," and the next thing they do is not help you. And the girl said that he was walking out and she just froze, and that he walked right by her. Oh, but there was so much red stuff, if you get what I'm saying. There was so much of that in the home that it started leaking out on the outside, on the foundation. That's how brutal this was. But it was 4 students. What was it? 3 girls and a guy, or 2 girls and 2 guys?
These survivors' responsibility,
But yeah, 4
ensuring
college
that
students.
the voices of these children, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, are never forgotten, and the positive impacts that they have had on so many lives are never minimized, and that the love they shared, the light that they shined onto others, is forever celebrated. As we sit here today, this case is ending, and we are now certain who committed these unspeakable acts of evil, but we don't know, and what we may never know is why.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I
3
share
girls
the
and a guy.
desire expressed
Thank
by
you.
others to understand the why. But upon reflection, it seems to me that this
Oh, that was another thing. He gave no remorse and he gave no motive.
is just my own opinion, that by continuing to focus on why, we continue to give Mr. Kohlberger relevance. We give him agency, we give him power. The need to know what is inherently not understandable makes us dependent upon the defendant to provide us with a reason, and that gives him the spotlight, the attention, and the power he appears to crave. Yet even if I could force him to speak, which legally I cannot,
Good, honey.
how could anyone ever be assured that what he speaks is the truth?
Amen.
Do we
Amen.
really believe, after all of this, he's capable of speaking the truth or of giving up something of himself to help the very people whose lives he destroyed?
Absolutely not.
Rather, I suspect the so-called reason would be dished out in enticing, self-serving, and aggrandizing
I don't think so, Vicky.
untruthful bits, leaving people wanting more information, more insight, and thus enhancing even further the power he seeks to hold. Even if we could get truthful insight into his why, I suspect it would not in any way quench one's thirst for actually understanding why in the first instance. Because there is no reason for these crimes that could approach anything resembling
Jill.
rationality.
It's the judge.
No conceivable reason could make any sense. And in
No,
the
he
end,
didn't say,
the more
Brandy.
we struggle to seek explanation for the unexplainable, the more we try to extract a reason, the more power and control we give to him. In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohlberger's 15 minutes of fame. It's time that he be
Amen.
consigned to the ignominy and isolation of perpetual incarceration. I know there has been concern about him collaborating on books or movies or other media projects, and I truly hope that someone does not stoop to affording him this spotlight that he desires in the name of clicks,
Can't they say that in the
profits.
Can't they make that part of the sentencing and part of the court thing? I know I've seen it in other cases. I have to look that up. But where they cannot profit off books, movies, and all of that. I mean, they already have a documentary about this on Hulu. I don't know if he gets a cut out of that. I'm sure that he does because they're using his likeness and all of that. But I'm pretty sure the courts, maybe it depends on the state, but I know some courts have been able to say you can't make money.
Criminal behavioralists should study him away from the spotlight in an attempt to prevent other would-be killers from acting on their worst impulses.
Look at him smirk.
There should be no need for that to spill over into the public eye. The great Idaho jurist Edward Lodge was known for trying to find something positive about every person he ever sentenced. And with over a half a century as a trial judge, that was a lot of people. This was often challenging.
Was it criminal justice?
And I recall in one case he said that the best he could come up with was the defendant had good penmanship. Truth be told, I'm unable to come up with anything redeeming about Mr. Kohlberger because his grotesque acts of evil have buried and hidden anything that might have been good or intrinsically human about him. His actions have made him the worst of the worst. Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, nothing suggesting even a recognition or understanding, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other
that
than
part,
to simply
Vicky.
sentence him so that he is forever
or a
removed
scholarship.
from civilized society.
A scholarship at their college or something.
Based upon his conduct and based upon the record before this court, recognizing the standards that govern this court's sentencing decisions as set forth in State v.
Tiffany.
I hereby sentence Mr. Kohlberger as follows. On count 1, burglary, 10 years fixed, 0 years indeterminate. I also impose a fine of $50,000. Count 2, first-degree murder of Madison Mogan. I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim.
Well, that's nice.
On count 3, for first-degree murder of Kaylee Gonsalves, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the victim of the family.
Hey, Bridget.
The family of the victim, pardon me. On count 4, for the first-degree murder of Xana Kernodle, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 5, for the first-degree murder of Ethan Chapin, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. The sentences on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shall run consecutively to one another. Restitution will be left open for 60 days. Defendant will be required to submit a DNA sample and a right thumbprint impression to the Department of Corrections and comply with the DNA Database Act.
He took a plea, Evelyn.
Custody of the Idaho State Board of Corrections for to be imprisoned in an appropriate facility and execution of the sentence where he will remain until he dies.
I saw that, Maverick. One of the boys was a
triplet.
triplet.
Right to appeal. You do have a right to file a notice of appeal. And any such appeal must be filed within 42 days of the date of the written judgment, which will be entered.
Yeah, he took a plea.
Shortly hereafter. though the appeal, you should be aware, may be deemed a violation of the plea agreement. So I certainly suggest you discuss that with counsel if that is your desire.
This is why I said he took a plea. He don't want the details out, in my opinion.
I ask the media and public present to allow the families to be escorted out first before they leave. I am strengthened by them, and I am encouraged by your humanity and strength, and God bless you. We're adjourned.
So there you go. That's a tragic, awful case. Oh my goodness, I can't. All right, so since this is obviously the video is like downloaded, I'm at 32% again. It keeps going off. So let me just pull up the videos or the video. Let's start it off here because I know where I got most of them. I hate that though because I like when it's just like one streamlined video. But hey, all right. All right. As soon as I start showing these videos, watch it download. That'll be how it works. I mean, which would be cool. All right. Did you hear the victim statement? It's so good. No, I'll have to listen to him. I just saw that they did. So he took a plea agreement. So that's why you don't see a trial for him. And that's what I always say, because the trial, we get to hear things. You know, the state gets to present what evidence they have against them and what happened and the details of the case and things like that. Yes, she said there's some very good victim statements. Let me see something real quick before I show you this one. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that one. Oh yeah, I gotta watch. All right, let's watch this. Because I just saw a quote from it. So let's see if this is the whole thing. Oh, okay. This is her statement. Let's watch this real quick. Maybe it'll give it a minute. Hey, Zona. Because I just saw a quote and I've got to watch it. This is the sister. This is Kaylee's sister giving her witness or her victim impact statement on the 23rd, which was yesterday. So this just happened yesterday, guys.
Hello, I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to have Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief, I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take.
Amen.
They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I had planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling.
I love that.
Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th?
Sit up straight.
Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty.
That part.
You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else.
Damn.
Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others.
He's researched
You
so
wanted
fast.
so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin.
Okay, Maverick.
Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light.
Oh.
You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so.
Not once, Megan.
All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe.
Yeah, Kelsey.
You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic.
Hey, Mary.
You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional.
Yes.
Don't ever get it twisted again.
Ooh.
No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God.
Yes.
Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself.
Ooh.
The truth is,
Powerful.
the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be.
Ooh.
The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh. I got chills. Ooh. Very powerful. Makes me like tear up because ooh. She said she'd have kicked your ass. And she would have. Had she not been in her fucking sleep. Like she said, like a pedophile. Ugh. Makes me emotional. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what that family went through. I mean, you could literally see the red stuff coming out of the house, onto the foundation, onto the bricks, outside. That's how bad, how brutal it was. Full body chills, yeah, and tears. I mean, yeah, great. It was great. Woo! Okay, into the next story. God bless her and all of her family, all of their families and friends. He had no emotion. I tear up. I can't imagine. And I can feel her pain. Like I can feel, even though she kept it together, I know what it took for her to write that. Like I can feel that. Even though I've never experienced it, I can still feel the power behind that. And he sat there and he did it and had zero emotion. And the saddest part is that her words, and I think she knew it just like most of us do, that sadly, her words and the fact that she embarrassed him and he knows that shit's on national television and she's everywhere right now. She's on every YouTube, every TikTok. I mean, talking about this case is her voice on there, right? The fact that she flipped the script on his ass and embarrassed him and told him, read him just for what he was. Sadly, that will probably haunt him more than what he did. Those words, that impact statement had an impact on him, whether he showed the emotion or not. I feel that will hurt him more than the trauma behind what he did. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you could feel it with every word. Every word. I mean, the way she never stuttered, stammered, she never nothing. I mean, she knew her mission and she did it. And I do think that he will, again, those words that she said will haunt him. As the what he did should haunt him, but I don't think it will. I don't think he has remorse. She did. She definitely spoke with love. Whew, that was a hard one. Yeah, they're gonna eat him up inside, Jennifer, and I think that's why he did not he didn't want the death penalty. Um, but also I do think he did not want because he knew his case was having national attention and they watch TV in prison, especially when it comes to like news and shit like that. So they watch that stuff and all that stuff comes out, everything he did to those women. Yeah, he didn't want that. That's just my opinion. All right, let's watch this. Two T's, one could only, you know. It was beautifully spoken. On to this. The sheriff in Alabama said that this was, in 33 years, that this was the worst case he's ever seen of exploiting a child. Trigger warning. As you guys know, true crime nights are always trigger warnings, but this one's heavy.
Well, a total of 7 people are now in custody in connection to a child trafficking case involving.
Shout out to Kai for that super chat. What a sick POS. Yes, he is. Sorry, I wanted to let, thank you, Becky. I wanted to let her finish. I did not want to interrupt what she had to say. And I think you understood that. Yeah, there is a documentary. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's on Hulu. For the Idaho murder. I think it's called, just search Idaho murders. It should pop up. Or college murders. So yeah, but he did not go to their school. He went to a school not far from there. But yeah.
Brown bunker in Bibb County. Some of the suspects are the children's own parents, and authorities say more victims may still be out there. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson has more details, and we want to warn you, you may find it disturbing.
It's a case investigators say they'll never forget. Children drugged and tied up, taken underground into a bunker where strangers paid to abuse them.
Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
10 children so far have been identified. The youngest just 3 years old, the oldest 15. Most of them are under the age of 10, and investigators fear there are more victims and suspects still unaccounted for.
Some of them come in as they got old enough to be desirable to a pedophile, I guess, and then some of them, their victimization started out when they were younger and then they reached the age of 10.
Investigators say the children were sexually abused in what was described as appointments paid for by offenders.
Sometimes they could make up to $1,000 a night.
And some of the people who were supposed to protect them were the ones handing them over.
Some of these people are acquaintances, some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able to schedule to come to the storm shelter.
Law enforcement believe this wasn't just a local crime. It was part of an organized human trafficking network, possibly linked to a violent gang. One suspect, Andres Trejo Valquez, is believed to have connections to a gang called Serenos, a group the sheriff says profits off child exploitation. His legal status in the U.S. is now under investigation.
Wherever this guy come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
Gracie Johnson reporting, and anyone with any information on this.
I wish my video would show because it's crazy, some of the stuff. They're also being charged with bestiality. I mean, this was awful. Not only that, this has been going on. These children, this started in 2022. This started in 2022. That makes me emotional. It's 2025. These children have been, this has been going on for 3 years. Some of the victims in this case, their parents were behind this. Their own parents. And they would have multiple PDF files coming to join them every night, up to $1,000 a day. They had a pole. This was an underground bunker. They had a pole in there, and they would tie them to the pole, tie them to the bed. It just inhumane. In 3 years, nobody saw anything, thought anything. Ages 3, which means that was a baby at one point. If they started this 3 years ago, that means that baby was an infant. Can you imagine just in the 3 years that baby's been alive, what it's been through? There's 10 plus children, ages 3 to 15, and 7 people that have been arrested. They believe there'll be more arrests that will follow, but this story is terrible. Terrible is not even a good enough word. Atrocious. I don't even know. My vocabulary is not vast enough to give a better word, if there's even one out there that exists. All right, so we're going to listen to, you guys have questions, I have questions. So let's listen to this, because he gives out lots of details.
The first suspect is William Chase McElroy. The victim
I had the pictures
ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old.
Sorry,
his charges are 4 counts of rape first, 6 counts of sodomy first, 6 counts of human trafficking, 4 counts of kidnapping first. And we have mugshots available for you that we'll provide you after the conference.
I had them all put on the video, but of course.
The second arrest is of Dalton Terrell. His charges are rape first, 5 counts, sodomy first, 7 counts, human trafficking, 6 counts, kidnapping first, 4 counts. The third arrest is Andres Velasquez Trejo. His charges are 6 counts of human trafficking. Those victims ranging in age from 3 to 15 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry, Evelyn, but I do think that.
Next is Timothy Dale St. John Jr. His charges are 2 counts of rape first, 4 counts of sodomy first, 4 counts of human trafficking, 3 counts of kidnapping first, 1 count of bestiality, 1 count of aggravated cruelty to animals. In addition to the animals, the victims ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old.
So sorry.
Next is Rebecca Brewer. Her charges are 8 counts of human trafficking, 8 counts of kidnapping first, 3 counts of sexual torture.
Agree with that, Tina Bina. Me too, Beth, but they'll get protection.
Next arrest is Ricky Terrell.
Right, Kelsey.
His charge right now is 1 count of rape first. We anticipate more charges on these other ones as they have just been arrested last night and have not been to grand jury yet.
I get it. But yes, Kelsey, it's real, and I think
the final arrest made Sarah Louise Terrell. Her counts thus far: 1 count of sexual torture and 2 counts of sexual abuse of a child less than 12 years old.
Right, Nick.
There's a lot of people to thank in this investigation. In addition, we'd like to thank our DA's office, the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, the Central Alabama Child Advocate Center that helps with interviewing the small victims in this case.
Homeland Security's in on this.
The Alabama Fusion Center that helps us get all this information together and get us a timeline going. Resources, they've been invaluable as we're looking into possible gang affiliations with one of the suspects that's been arrested.
That's why Homeland's there.
Known ties to a gang that's known their main source of income is child trafficking. Us, other than just answer the radio and tell us where to go. Have identified, have been removed safely when this immediately was made aware, and they are in the Department of Department of Human Resources in their custody, and they are safe and being cared for and speaking with counselors to help them get through this horrible thing that's happened to them. It's still an ongoing investigation, and we anticipate
this was in
more
Alabama,
arrests and unfortunately more victims.
Bibb County, Alabama.
That's the information that I can share with you now, but I'd be glad to take a couple of questions if I
think
can.
it was a tip.
Yes, ma'am.
How are all these people connected? I know there are some with the same last name, but I think some even with different last names, they're in-laws and that kind of thing. Can you kind of lay that out for us?
Correct. And for the privacy of the children, I'll just suffice it to say that yes, some of the victims, the offenders, were parents and different relatives and things like that.
By the way, the video starts like glitching. That is not on my end. That's the video itself. So just so you know, the glitching is not on my part. It's the video.
That which you can draw from the last names being the same as the offenders and victims. So, yes.
What about all the suspects? Are there any connections there? We've got Sarah and Ricky Terrell along with Dalton. Mm-hmm. Is that one family or? Some of these people are acquaintances. Some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able.
See, it glitches. It's ridiculous. I took all this out.
Forward. But as far as this, there was a up in the investigation. Immediately, victims removed and arrests began being made.
And would they take the children to the bunker, or were the children staying in the bunker?
It depends on the point in time the offenders had. Sometimes the children would be there.
That's awful.
Tied to a pole that was there, bound to a bed that was there, or in a chair that was there. Sometimes people that would come by.
Come on, this video is awful.
The DA says there's maybe up to 12 more men involved. Is there any way to track down these men, or do you have any leads on it? And what about those who purchased the images from the last administrator?
That is still something that these guys are working on. They were out till midnight last night and have been since this investigation started. So yeah, I was waiting until a time such as this when we had the known victims safe and the for sure known suspects in custody before we wanted to give out a lot of information on this case. But it is still ongoing, and like I said earlier, unfortunately, I'm afraid there's going to be more victims and many more suspects. And these guys are diligent and they're going to run down everybody they can.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard what she said, but the reporter was asking, did the kids live there or did they come there? So that's when he said they were tied to the pole and stuff. He said it depended on the appointment of the offenders. How disgusting. So some of them had to live there probably. I wouldn't doubt it if some of them lived there, especially if they have kidnapping charges. Who knows where some of these kids came from? But they did say that all the kids are safe and in, state custody. They're not going to be safe in any jail. Yeah. Especially the female.
Besides the victims whose parents were involved that you mentioned, those who maybe didn't have parents involved, are there any knowledge of were they knowledgeable of this going on, and could any criminal charges be brought against them?
That is something that will be part of the ongoing investigation. I do not think that anybody that was not involved in this directly was aware that it was going on.
How many additional victims anticipate? If you had 10 already, how many additional anticipate?
There's no telling.
As I'm sure many of your investigators are parents, aunts, uncles, how has it been for you all on kind of peeling this back layer by layer and seeing all this? It seems like it's bad and it goes from worse to worse to worse to worse.
Absolutely, it's horrible as a parent when you sit there and you look at your child. I mean, I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old.
Dang.
Look at
you got a young wife.
I'm thinking, how could you? I mean, absolutely horrible. These men have children that they have.
Maybe not.
Get off.
Maybe he adopted.
And were drugs involved?
No, ma'am. I think it may have been something, not necessarily a narcotic, more something like to make them a little bit more drowsy and a little bit more compliant for the ones that were physically able to somewhat try back and protect themselves. But no, And I know that there was another investigation that was that it kind of crossed over a little bit involving drugs at that residence, and then we kind of had to say, all right, let's wait a minute on that. We've got more important things that we have to address right now.
And who was getting the money that they would pay? Who the money went to?
He don't want to say probably.
Is that anything I need to? Justin?
I would say yes.
Yeah, correct. One of the charges I read out earlier on Trejo, all his accounts were child sex trafficking. So you can draw what you want from that.
He's not accused of any.
So basically, they're saying that all the money went to the one guy. That's why he's got only the 6 trafficking charges, because that's where the money led to. That's why he doesn't have like kidnapping charges or anything like that. He just has those 6 charges. Yeah, it's even more devastating when it's the child's own parents that are like bringing them there, tying them to the pole. I mean, that's a different level because you're supposed to trust your parents and things like that. I mean, it's all awful. Trust me. I mean, all of it's awful for any kid to have to go through it at all. But their own parents put them there and was selling them. And sadly, it happens more than you would never know. It's sad that some parents see their children as just that.
I mean, was it part of this, or was it just kind of a charge that was tacked on in a separate incident?
That was something that was discovered during the investigation of the children by witnesses, suspects that were cooperating, giving additional information. So that's how that information came forward.
How were the suspect able to advertise, if you will? How were they able to garner some of the children to lure them?
Unfortunately, animals like this have their own network. They've got people that they can call. They've got ads they can take out, be it on any kind of social media platform or something like that. So it is somewhat of an underground thing, but it is well known. Not all the offenders were necessarily familiar with the people that they were purchasing the kids from.
And the house where the bunker is, I know there's an elderly woman, I think one of the men's grandmother who lives there. Mm-hmm. Is there any reason to think any of the people who live near there?
Damn, so the bunker is outside of the grandma, or does she live? I would assume the bunker is separate from grandma's house. So one of the guy's grandmothers lives there. I would assume the bunker is like behind her house. But if she lives there and it's like under her house, like a basement or something, she had to have heard some shit. There's no way. No way.
Investigation that we had to put a little bit of a hold on until we could rescue these children. I think that when you've got that amount of traffic going in and out, it's not when the area where it's located, you can pretty much get to the bunker without a lot of people seeing it. And then, at night, it'd be easy to go in there undetected. So I think with a kind of a relatively heavy traffic area like that, it wouldn't be unusual to see a lot of vehicles and people going in and out of the house. But that's when it's good for people, if they do see activity that's suspicious like that, to please make us aware.
Right.
Because a lot of time when there's something.
Do you plan to bring charges under the new Alabama Criminal Enterprise Act?
That's something we're still looking to, working with the district attorney's office. And, we have other agencies that are coming in here to assist us. So the main thing we did was get the charges that we could immediately to get these people in custody and get them off the street. I anticipate more charges coming.
Oh, shit.
Sheriff, is there evidence, I think you spoke to it, that this is linked to a larger criminal conspiracy or
what happened to Kai?
And are there other agencies, federal, involved in your investigation?
Well, we've got Homeland Security investigations that's helping us, and to track a little bit more information on the one that has the
hold on, I'll tell you.
ties to the is it?
Oh man,
the Serrania. And like I said, I think their main source of
I didn't see what happened to Kai.
So yeah, we are getting assistance from federal agencies to help us on that end, because wherever this guy come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
This may be.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kai.
When this is over with, will you have any sort of jurisdiction to get rid of the bunker just for psychological purposes?
Right, Ty.
That is something that I haven't even thought of at that point.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. So we'll see what can or should be done about that. If I had my way about it, we'd blow it up, but that's something that I can't really answer.
Blow it up. I love it.
Describe what the bunker was like. I know we've seen pictures of the outside by now.
I don't know why they even have this video up like this.
Well, it was pretty good sized where you could actually live in there comfortably. I mean, there was a toilet in there. There was a mattress they were using as a bed in there. Room for some chairs.
Yeah, I showed you guys the picture of the bed.
Partially underground to where you walk around back and you can see it, but it's going into kind of like a hillside. And then on the top of it, like I say, it was like a pad for the roof and then a carport put over. So when you pull up and look at it, it just looks like a carport on a concrete slab.
The Hispanic suspect.
All right, let me see.
Can you speak to just the severity of this case, and has there ever been anything you've experienced like this in your working
Here you go.
I've been in law enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to victimization of children. And like I say, I know God's forgiveness is boundless.
Boundless.
And I know there's a verse that comes to me, and it's in Matthew, I think it's 18:10. It says, "Being one of these least of mine, for their angels behold the face of my Father at all times."
And do you believe that people were traveling here to Bibb County outside of Bibb County for the acts were happening in this bunker?
A lot of the people that we have in custody right now are more local, but as the investigation goes on, hopefully we'll be able to determine if there were people traveling from out of county, out of state, or wherever victimize these children. So that's not something I can answer right now, but it's something these guys are diligently working on.
Oh, awful. Okay, if you just look up Alabama bunker traffic ring, you can find all the information, Sheena. I don't know what all their names are. They're listed in the video, but of course I can't get the video. So, hold on one second. I mean, it's awful. Like he said, he's done it for, 33 years. Okay, I played that one. And here's what's crazy. In 2013, there was actually so be careful on the dates, because in 2013 there was another underground bunker in Alabama, which is wild, of all places. Let's see. Okay. It happens so much that we never know about. Right. I'm sorry for your niece, Kelsey.
New developments in the Bibb County sex abuse case. 7 suspects total now charged with abusing 10 children. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office sharing chilling details as the investigation continues to unfold. WVTM 13 there in Llewellyn has been following this story for us. He shares the outrage from Brent residents who can't believe this is happening in their community.
This was another video I was going to show y'all.
Shocking new details in the Bibb County sex abuse case.
It made me feel disgusted.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office releasing a picture on Wednesday.
Is that an easy bake oven?
It's the first look inside the bunker where at least 10 children were sexually abused.
Is that an easy bake oven sitting there? That's what it looks like. And then there's a chair, and that bed's on a platform. It's a platform thing with a mattress. And if this right here, you guys can't really see it, but this white, it looks like there's a wall there. That's actually a pole. That's like a pole in the downstairs, like holding the ceiling up, basically. But it's like a cement pole, basically. And that's what they were tying them to. So you can't really see it in this photo the way it is. But yeah, there's space around it. It's not a wall.
Sometimes the children would be there, tied to a pole that was there, bound to a bed that was there, or in a chair that was there.
So see, I guess maybe grandma lives in the top part of it. Yeah, it does look like an easy bake oven, right? I guess grandma lives in the top. She would have had to have heard something. I want to say, just for my own sake, she lives like in a different house on the property. because I don't know. I just feel like you didn't hear a child screaming. And they said that they weren't sure if they were because they were drugging the children, especially the older ones that would fight back. And so, especially you got one that's 15, a 15-year-old's going to fight back. I mean, I don't know. At that age, if it's been going on for years, maybe they wouldn't fight back as much, but they said that they weren't sure that it was a narcotic, but they were giving them something just to make them more relaxed, more compliant, basically. That's awful. My brother's father was 25, my mom was 16. Ugh. When she got pregnant and he told her he was saving himself for an 8-year-old girl. My brother never knew him. It's sick, but is it genetic? Makes you wonder. I think that's the argument that goes back to nature versus nurture. I think that you can have someone that's adopted out and they can be nurtured, and sometimes the nature just comes back. I think it depends on the person. Um, but yeah, it says that they were, giving them something to make them more relaxed. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if Granny will get arrested at some point.
Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
Sheriff Jody Wade says the abuse started as early as 2022.
I would probably have to have therapy myself, or I might be wearing orange in Bibb County Jail.
That's where these 7 suspects are now, facing a range of charges from rape, sodomy, and bestiality to human trafficking and kidnapping.
I wish they would let them out and let Bibb County citizens take care of them.
This Andrea Trejo, this woman said she
and let Bibb County citizens take care of them.
Now, here's the thing. She said she didn't want her face shown, right? She didn't want nobody to know who she was. Now, you already know if I lived in Bibb County, Alabama, honey, I would know exactly who that is because her voice, I can tell. And 2, I can pretty much tell what she looks like. I never understood this. Why would they not blur her out? Like, if you're from Bibb County, Alabama, I bet you know who that is. And you probably know her daddy and her aunt and her sister and everybody else. I don't understand why they didn't blur her out a little bit better, but that's beside the point.
This woman said she didn't want to show her face or give us her name out of fear.
Sadly.
Wade says this operation could be gang related, and the ringleader, Andreas Trejo, may be the link.
I know a couple of the boys, and it surprises me.
She knows them.
I can't believe that it was like just not far from where my sister lives, actually.
Hey, now
and she has kids.
Sister.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says some of the suspects are parents to some of the children involved. Mary Hicks has 14 grandchildren and says if that were her grandkids, she would be in jail by now.
That's wrong. I killed my own child with my grandchild.
Let me look.
That's wrong.
I think it was a tip.
Wade tells us the suspect's main source of income was sex trafficking, and the children were used to make up to $1,000 in one night.
I couldn't imagine doing that to my kid. If I need the money, I'm going to go out here and work. If you need money that bad to do that to your kid.
Using drugs to sedate them, all while adults took advantage of them.
No child deserves this. That's the most horrible thing you can do, the power and control of it, the stealing the innocence of a child and the horrible victimization that they went through with these monsters.
Now, this case is still being investigated, but we are expecting new details tomorrow, and so we will bring that to you as soon as we get it on air and online. For now, we're in Brent. Aaron Llewellyn, WBTN 13.
Okay, so it says on here that the investigation, and here's what. The investigation started in February. So you mean they may have known him back in February, which I get they need. I feel like the kids are proof enough, especially if you've got a 15-year-old. But I just feel like their investigation started in February. So I don't know what, I thought it was a tip, but I don't know. Maybe it was through maybe they found it through online changing of images, if you know what I mean. But it says the investigation began in February and led to the arrest of 7 suspects, with more arrests and charges expected. The crimes occurred in the underground bunker near a home in Brent. So it sounds like she does have a home on the property. The children aged 3 to 15 believe that they were, given drugs. And then it says some suspects have confessed while others have not. Officials said some suspects have provided information that has been critical to the investigation. Huh. I even ask, like, I'm trying to ask, like, how they did it. What made the officials? Here. It says the investigation that led officials to the underground bunker in Bibb County and subsequently uncovered a child sex trafficking ring began after concerns of SA were reported to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office in February. It says the Department of Human Resources were alerted to potential child SA occurring at a bunker located in Brent. So it was a tip. It was a tip. It was like, it was described as like a storm shelter. They were allegedly tied down to chairs, beds, and poles within the bunker and individually would pay to be SA'd. So there you go. It was a tip that came in February to the CPS, basically. Oh, that's awful. Awful. Well, I apologize for the technical difficulties and that we couldn't get the video that I had up. But I did show you a few of the clips and the sheriff speaking. So that was pretty much it. Kelsey, did they catch any of the clients? I am sure that is to come. That's why they weren't, that you saw he had like a guy on each side of him. So I think that is to come as far as the clients and where these things go, because, you know, they have to like seize. You think about all 7 of these people they've arrested. They now have to go to wherever they lived and seize their computers, their phones, and do all this digital stuff. This just happened, I believe, Tuesday. So this just happened. They just went in and like saved the kids and did all that stuff on Tuesday. The press conference was yesterday, and now we're here. So it's only been 2 days. So I believe, like they said, more arrests will be made, more investigations being done. So I do believe more will happen. No, Lita, for some reason, I made a video and I even copied it. So I had 2 copies of it, and I kept trying to download it to my phone. I download it to my phone and then I upload it to YouTube, so I can show it to you guys. And I kept trying to download it, and every time it gets to like 80 some percent, it just shuts my phone like down. So I don't know what it's doing, but I try to do it like the whole live. I was sitting here doing it the whole live, trying to get it to work, but you know, it happens. So, yeah, they're going to get lots more info for sure. What did it say? What did you say? Wait. What? Did you see where Callie Red says she's going to sue for slander of what? Who slandered her? Anyone else on the timing of this odd? The timing of what? That's what I said, Hood Billy. They let those babies be there since February. Like what? But yeah, I do think lots more details will definitely come out. Sherry, I did not see that, so I'll go see if I can find it. Right, Laura. You can't sue me for slander if I was reacting and giving my opinion about what I was watching. That's just my opinion on how I felt about things. So, you know, but I will be back for the malarkey very soon because it's already 10:45. So I will be back. I love you guys. Thank you so much. It's like Pete. It's very hard to prove defamation and slander or libel, which is written. It's very hard to do. And since I didn't do it, it would be very, very hard. But you know, we'll talk about it when we have malarkey. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another true crime episode. Love you guys so much. Thank you for the support. And I know that these stories are hard sometimes to get through, and they're all of them are tragic. That's why it's true crime. But I do think that some of these stories need to be talked about, you know, for awareness purposes, for the purposes of if you see something, say something. You never know where these things take place, especially something like this. You never know. You may see something on one of these and be like, hey, what about that? You know, you never know. So it's just, I think it needs to be talked about because there are people out here like this. So I do appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. And I will see you back again. See you next Tuesday for another episode of True Crime Tuesday. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you back here from Malarkey very soon. Bye.